Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, February 10th, 2024. For me, another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So, it's early, but it's not as early as I've recorded videos. It's 6:39 a.m. I had already had breakfast, took my medications, and now just kind of getting on with my day. Today I have to do a lot of studying because I have an exam next Friday, which I hope I passed first time. This is the last exam out of the 5 courses that I've taken since November of 22 to be able to get a career designation. And anyway, today what I want to talk about in this video is the way that I budget. Part of my budgeting method. This is not the whole picture, but this is part of the picture on how I assign the money that I make per paycheck. And unfortunately, I'm one of the people that's living paycheck to paycheck, which a lot of people are. So it's a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal. What I've learned how to do each paycheck, though, is to assign each dollar to whatever it's supposed to cover. I use a budgeting app called YNAB, or You Need a Budget. It is based off of the envelope system where you put money in an envelope and that money is going to be for this. So the easiest way to think about this is I've got $2,000. I'm going to put $100 in this envelope to be able to cover groceries for this week. Similar. It's a great system to be able to keep track of it that way. You can use other methods. You can use paper. You can use a spreadsheet. Doesn't matter. But I've used YNAB basically since I started budgeting over 2 years ago, and I'm happy with it. You know, it does cost a little bit, about $100 a year, but it's well worth it. You know, I hadn't had any issues with it. So with my paychecks, I have given it a color-coded system to be able to see which check is going to cover which expenses, and I'll show you on my on this spreadsheet that I made this morning. Now this is similar to what I have in expenses each month, but it's not mine. I'm not going to show you everything, but just to give you a good idea as to my thinking and how I'm dealing with things. So, all right, give me 1 second to get this set up. Just give me a countdown. So, okay, this is the spreadsheet, and on the right, you'll see that in this example, I'm showing you 4 different paychecks. Paycheck 1, paycheck 2, paycheck 3, paycheck 4, and this is all for 1 month. For me, I only get 2 paychecks. Most months, there may be 2 months out of the year where I'm getting 3 paychecks. And so I've color-coded each of the paychecks. The first paycheck is this light blue color. Second paycheck is yellow. Third paycheck is in green. And then the fourth paycheck is sort of some sort of blue. Let me recolor that. Let's make it stand out just a little bit. I'm going to say, I've already got green. Choices. Red, it stands out. I don't like red because, it's like bad. Okay, let's say, for example, this month in February, I'm getting 2 paychecks. So, first payday is on Friday, February 2nd. Second paycheck is on a Friday 2 weeks away, which is on the 16th. That first paycheck is highlighted in light blue, and then the second paycheck is highlighted in yellow. So, looking at on the left-hand side, showing you my fixed expenses and actually other expenses like groceries, medications, and fuel and things like that. But my mortgage and HOA fees for this month are already covered. I've already assigned that money from last month's paychecks. It takes me multiple paychecks to cover those, or at least the way that I budget it does. I don't make enough each paycheck to be able to cover both the mortgage and the HOA, and then allocate that money for everything else in that pay period. So I divide it into 2 pay periods. So anyway, I have it highlighted in this light brownish color. It tells me what color it is, but I'm not gonna. Well, yeah. Let me do that. Let me not be lazy. Let me just go ahead and tell you exactly what color that is. That color is orange, accent 2, lighter 60%, whatever the heck that means. So I give it that color because I'm using multiple paychecks to cover that. So let's take a look. My first paycheck, or in this example, this paycheck is going to cover all of this. So as you can see, got paid on the second. That's $1,900. These are the expenses that it's going to cover. It's going to cover internet. It'll cover TV streaming services. It's going to cover the student loans payment. It's going to cover one of the personal loan payments. It'll cover your cell phone payment. It'll cover home security. It'll cover half of next month's mortgage. So I'm taking $600 of that paycheck, and that's going to be assigned for half of next month's mortgage. And then I'm taking $140 of that paycheck, and that's going to cover half of the HOA fees for next month. And now, how much do I want for food? In this example, I'm just going to say I'm going to take out $150 out of that paycheck. That means I'll have $75 for 1 week, $75 for the next week to be able to cover for groceries. Now, that may not seem a lot. And, it may be that I have to say, well, maybe I have to spend a little bit more on groceries. That's okay. That paycheck is going to cover $45 worth of medications for that pay period. I don't drive much, and for me, $30 for fuel for 2 weeks is perfectly fine. And then, what am I doing with the rest of the money? Now, this is in a perfect scenario. I'm dumping all the rest of that money into my emergency fund. And that's because I'm trying to get my emergency fund to 100%. Once the emergency fund is completely replenished, then I'll be putting whatever extra money I can towards debt. Okay, so that's one paycheck. I've assigned every single penny of that paycheck to the categories that you see in front of you. So it's showing that my total expenses is $1,900. What's the remainder of that paycheck? Is zero. Just as easy as that. What you're not seeing, what I'm not budgeting for, and that's why people have a problem getting out of debt and going further into debt, is you don't see that I'm budgeting for auto loan. I don't have one. Child support. I don't have children. Credit cards. I have credit cards, but when I charge my credit cards, I pay it off each pay period because I've already assigned that money to be able to pay off those expenses. You don't see that I'm budgeting for gifts. I'm not budgeting for new clothes. I'm budgeting for dry cleaning. I'm not budgeting for childcare. Once again, I have children. I'm not budgeting for vacations. I don't go on vacations. I had a lot of vacations in my 20s and 30s, and I'm paying for it now. That's part of my debt. And movies. I don't go to the movies. It's too expensive. Haircuts, coffee. None of that. That's not in my budget. I just can't afford to do that. And even when I can't afford to do that, I'm going to be in so much of a habit of not budgeting for that. I'm just going to say, forget it. I'm good. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking about retirement. I'm thinking about being able to help future generations get their money right. And that's why I'm showing you this. Anyway, paycheck 1 is accounted for. Let's move on to what paycheck 2 is going to cover. So $216 I got paid. So I got paid $1,900. Now I need to assign that money to do what it's going to do. What is it going to cover for the next 2 weeks? All right, so it's going to cover that second personal loan. It's $500 towards that. And Amazon Prime. It's going to cover my gas bill. It's going to cover auto insurance. It's going to cover electricity. It's going to cover life insurance payment. It's going to cover the second half of that mortgage payment for next month. And so $600 is coming out for that. So now I've got $1,200 for next month's mortgage. And then I'm going to take out another $140 of that paycheck, and it'll cover the rest of my HOA, which is $280. And now I have that covered. And I'm going to add another $45 for my medication. So now I got $90 to cover that. And I'm going to add another $30 for fuel. So, I've got $60. I probably spent a few dollars already to get some gas. So, it's a little bit depleted, and that's fine. And then whatever I have left over, I'm going to dump into the emergency fund. I've allocated, total expenses, $1,900. How much do I have left on my second paycheck? Nothing. Because everything's accounted for. And that's why, I'm a fan of the zero-based budgeting system, because it makes it easy to see exactly how the money's being divvied up. Let's say, you're married and you've got multiple checks in the month. So, you got 4 paychecks coming in. That should be a lot easier, because then you can say, okay, I'm going to take, instead of saying paycheck 1, 2, 3, 4, you can say husband's check 1, husband's check 2, wife's check 1, wife's check 2. And then you can say that, you can make whatever colors you want. You can use this similar color-coded system, and then just assign that money to those different categories, so you can see how much easier it is to account for those expenses. I'd be happy if I were in a situation like that where I had, multiple paychecks coming in, because then, you can get towards those financial goals a lot quicker, to be out of debt, to be out of consumer debt, to have a full emergency fund, to pay off your home quickly, to save for retirement, and to go on those vacations that you've always wanted to go on, to pay for your children's education, to help the poor, to be able to really, live the way life was supposed to be intended to live. Now, the way we get by is that we have money. If we were living in a bartering system, I would probably do it the same way. So I'd be, bartering chickens and corn and whatever, how that looked, and it'd be the, similar type system. I'm just kidding. But that's, that's sort of a peek behind the curtain, and, probably something I'll revisit when I start teaching this system. This is definitely something that I will go to. Now, like I said, this is not the whole picture. This kind of gives you an idea, though, as to the discipline that it takes to be able to spend your money wisely and to be able to get out of it. This video is a lot longer than I intended. I do apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead and get it edited and posted, hopefully here shortly. And then I got to study all day today, all day tomorrow. In the morning on Monday, in the evening on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I take my exam on Friday afternoon, and that's that. But anyway, if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@LupusLifestyle. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you all take care.